Hi everybody, I am here to do our message. I am still probably going to do a weekly horoscope. I'm not sure yet. This is a holiday weekend, a lot is going on, and this is Sunday. However, I just felt compelled to give you a different type of reading today, and it's more about the retrograde seasons. I teach a class in a group called the Manifesting Queens where a bunch of positive feminine energy is congregated in one group to kind of put that energy together to manifest things. And I teach classes live at 6:30 on Sundays there. If you want to know more about that group, let me know. But I wanted to talk to them today about Mars retrograde, but then I started like really going into the information and just felt like I needed to kind of address the whole retrograde season. So while this is called Mars retrograde, there is a lot that I want to talk about. I have some notes here. Their message is going to be similar to this message because I think it's more important to hear. However, I'm going to pull some tarot cards for you at the end of this so that you have a little bit more energy or more information to work with. So, as we all know, on the 26th, I have notes here like I always do. On the 26th of June, Mars went retrograde in Aquarius, and I had talked to the group, and so I think I may have mentioned it a little bit in our last week's horoscope about how that energy can affect us and how it usually is not the time to push things, but it's more the time to just kind of sit back and receive things. But then it started to feel a little bit discouraging, right? Because I think I mentioned how it feels like we've been like kind of moving through mud and having all this fog over our eyes and not having a lot of clarity that we needed. And just these intuitive messages started coming to me, letting me know that the way that I saw things may not be quite 100% accurate. Yes, this is not the time to push outward, to try to push your agenda out into the world, but it is still time to do stuff. And it's not just the reworking, the tweaking, and all that other kind of stuff that I had talked about and that you're going to hear a lot, fireworks, a lot of us astrologers talk about. There's more going on. So, another message that I got just very clearly in my head was about the need to not fear that because Mars was going retrograde, and that's, a lot of us are saying that this is not the time to push things through, to not have fear that you don't have the power to get what you want or to manifest the things that you want. There's a few ways that this can manifest and work to your highest and best good. One of those is for receiving. This is a really good time and a good opportunity to bring energy inward around fighting for your freedom, fighting for a better future for yourself, um, figuring out what you need to do and what you need to change about yourself in order to achieve the things that you want to, or searching deep inside your soul and getting in touch with your intuition, your spirituality, etc., so that you can get in touch with these unique breakthroughs that are coming in. And then you also get to realign that energy with your hopes and your dreams. So you have this doing energy focused on doing you. What is it that you have in your control, in your lotus, was it always called locus of control, in order for you to work on those things, not the things outside of your control where you have to convince, where you have to push, but whatever you have control over, whatever you can manipulate, this is a good time for you to do that. And so that was very promising to me because it showed that not only is this a good time to go back and work on the things that we should have done that we haven't done, it doesn't mean that it's not a good time to start something new. It just means that it's a more contemplative time, and it's a time where you're turning more inward and you're focusing your doing energy on the things that you can do to control yourself and the things that are in your control, and putting your energy toward those things. Because if you are trying to assert it outward to things that are usually not in your control, that's where you're going to have some frustrations and issues. So sit with that. And again, this is also a good time for fate to kind of step in to help you move in the positive direction towards your hopes, your dreams, the places where you need to break free, the places where you need to assert yourself, but then to also fall back on any aggressive tendencies in any natures, especially if you're pushing in directions that you may think are for your highest and best good, but are not actually for your highest and best good. So that was kind of the message that I got as I was sitting in like a quiet meditation, and I thought that that was very fitting, and it may be very helpful to kind of clear up a little bit of the confusion, because there's so many planets retrograde right now. I was personally getting discouraged that I would have to wait till the end of the year to start getting answers, to start getting stuff done, to start to move things forward that I want to happen. And that's not necessarily true. And that's when this message came in, and it was clearly a message that was not just for me, it was one that I was meant to share with everyone. So see how that resonates with you. Still talking about Mars retrograde in Aquarius. It'll retrograde in Aquarius and then it'll bump back into Capricorn. So I'll talk about that in a minute. But it also kind of activates the partial solar eclipse in Aquarius that we had around February 15th. This is also very important. So Mars, our planet that is about energy and it's about power and force and achievement and all that kind of stuff, is but going all the way back to where it doesn't quite, but it almost butts up to where we had that partial solar eclipse. So when I say activate, I'm saying it loosely, but it reacquaints us with the drive and the desire and the ability and the energy to be able to get stuff done. It's about those positive changes that we wanted to make so much in our life that we may have gotten disconnected from or turned away from, or we may feel unclear about. And because we get to direct this forceful, powerful, determined energy in what we can control to get back to what we want to change positively, how we want to show up in the world, how we want to be uniquely ourselves, all of that, it kind of shifts us back to that starting point so we can then move forward. So I think that this is another very positive thing that we can expect to happen as we go through this Mars retrograde from June 26th to August 27th. Now, I also want to bring up another retrograde. So I talked about Mars retrograde and how that's kind of bringing us back to the beginning of the year. A lot of all this energy is kind of bringing us back to the beginning of the year. Saturn, I've already talked about this. I have an article on the blog, so I'm just mentioning quickly. It already is in retrograde, and it's already backing up right to the beginning of Capricorn. It's like everything is either backing up to Capricorn or backing up to right after Capricorn, so that we can get our mind right, we can get our energy right, we can get our manifestation powers right in order to move forward. I just got a hit, and it's really weird. So we have all this energy, right, moving back to Capricorn. And if you go and you read about Saturn and Capricorn on my blog, or any videos or any posts that I've done about Capricorn, it's all about having the patience to put the mastery, the work into something, so you could tangibly manifest something within the next maybe like 2 to 3 years, right? So all this energy is kind of backing up in Capricorn, but there's one energy that's not. It's coming right to the end of Capricorn, but then it's going to be going in Aquarius, and that's the Mars energy. So again, what a positive aspect for this Mars retrograde could be is the fact that you have a glimpse of something, right? And if we all know about the manifestation process, you kind of have this thought about something, but you may not be passionate about it. And until you can align your emotions, your passion, your desire, your mental, blah, 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 all that in a row, until that can all happen, you have a very hard time manifesting the things that you want to. Now, all our physical power is backing up. Pretty soon you're going to see our mental power back up, which is Mercury and Leo, creative power backing up. But what you're going to see ahead of everything else is that pure, powerful, raw energy that is associated with Mars, that is a step ahead of everything else, just waiting until all of these other things click into place, so that if we do the work, we do the contemplation, and have the forethought to really get aligned with what it is that we're supposed to be moving toward, you'll see that all of this is going to shift, and then Mars will go direct, and then those things will start to pop off, because all of our mind, our body, our soul, all of that will be in alignment with that creative energy in order to manifest the things that we want. So this is why I have talked also about breaking free from old ties and chains. So I said that because Uranus is in Taurus, this is a good time to learn how to play with the manipulation of energy. And that is for DNA repair, for karmic ties to be changed, for familial patterns that you carry within your DNA to be severed so that you can have a new and free life for yourself and the generations that come after you. And then just also to get back to the true principles of manifestation. And I am feeling more drawn to talk about it, but I don't know if I could talk about it eloquently in order for you to understand it. But like I said, it's basically you have a thought, but you also have feelings, desires, emotions around things, and then you also have the action behind those things. And when all of that is in pure alignment, you start to vibrate higher and you start to align more with the things that you want to manifest. And this is a perfect time for it. So this is why things are happening the way that they're happening. So even if you don't see the outward manifestation of the things that you want to, something is happening. And the more that you can do on yourself in order to start to kind of work with that energy, play with that energy, manipulate that energy, play with that energy around anything you have within your control to create what it is that you want to create, you're going to find that when everything lines back up, things are going to start to move forward very quickly for you. Okay. That just came to me. So anyway, Saturn backs up. Saturn retrograde is started on April 17th, and it's going to end on September the 6th. And so, again, I already talked about this. Again, I just want to re-mention testing ourselves, or we're being tested so that we can see if we learned our lessons, if we're ready to take on more manifestations, more responsibility, step into our truth, and prepping us for the next phase in life. And so again, what can you do to manipulate energy and get yourself ready and the things in your control ready to be able to move forward on the things that you say you want, or that you are thinking that you want to manifest in your next phase in life? Then we have Pluto retrograde, and that will be retrograde from September 30th, and it's also retrograde in Capricorn, that creative energy that I was just talking about, that's trying to get everything set up so that we can catch up, so that when we are ready, we can start to activate that Mars energy in order to create the things that we want. And Pluto is teaching us to get rid of the things that aren't serving us once and for all. And so fate may come in and take some things away or change things. This is a lot of energy around unexpected things, but also things that were coming. And if you live consciously, it usually is not unexpected, but it is a fated event still. So standing up for yourself, standing up for your purpose and truths, and reclaiming your power and your willpower and your determination to claim what is yours in this lifetime. I talked about Neptune retrograde, showing us the truth. And then we will have Mercury retrograde in mid-July. It'll actually be on the 26th, but you know I have a bigger retrograde season than most people talk about. So it'll be like mid-July to like the third week of August, where, like I said, your mind starts to go back and internalize that creative energy so that you can then go forward with everything. Now, all of this is not going to actually come together until around like the end of September, early October. And so these pieces will start to slowly come together. So I want you to be patient and I want you to hang in there, but also know that this is not something that's going to happen quickly, but it is happening. Uh-oh. All right. And so lastly, I would like to, oops, something fell off my mic. I think my hair got in the way. All right, so lastly, I'm going to just pull some cards for us. The first card is the Devil card, and we all know the Devil card is about you being obsessed. So you could be obsessed about what's going on or what you want to push forward. And I've just told you on some ways that you can use the energy for your highest and best good instead of trying to push your agenda out into the world, because it's not going to be met very positively. But this is about you freeing your mind and working on yourself so that you can move forward and break free from old structures, patterns, beliefs, things that are holding you back from being your best you. And so if you need to get away from stuff, if you have aggressions, if you have psychological things you need to deal with, any of that, then you need to pay attention to that. But the Devil also means passion. So this is about you kind of connecting with your passion. This is about you being an active participant in the things that make you passionate, but you also being an active participant in the creation process, because the Devil is about materialism, and materialism is about creation on this plane. So how can you not align with the Devil, but align with the manipulation of the resources on this plane to be able to manifest the things that you want to manifest, which is on the material plane? So think about that. Randomly, our next card is the Wheel of Fortune. Blocks, two major cards already. So blocks moving forward. Why are we having blocks moving forward? It's because we don't have our willpower, we don't have our strength, we don't have our determination. We're trying to push. Remember, I told you a lot of this energy is about who can you be, what can you manipulate so that you use the law of attraction in order to bring things in alignment with you based on your vibration. So what do you need to work on about yourself so that you're bringing those things in? Where have you lapsed? Where do you not have willpower? Where are you not lacking the determination to go after what you want? Until those things are in alignment, this is not the time to push things outward. This is a shift. And so just like it may feel like a downshift, there is going to be an upshift. So get ready for it. And to get ready for it is to prepare by, again, beating a dead horse, but paying attention to the things that are within your control. Our next card is the Knight of Swords. For me, that means there's going to be some information coming in. There's going to be some insight coming in, breakthroughs coming in, little strokes of genius. You need to act on them. You need to trust them. They are trying to move you in the right direction. It is a very contemplative type of movement in the right direction, but nevertheless, it does require you to be an active participant in whatever comes in and putting some energy behind that. And so putting energy behind the thoughts and the information that you receive in order to move forward. If you're not willing to do that, you're not going to see much forward progress, and you're going to in fact find that you're going to continue to be trapped, and it's going to be a choice at that point, right? Because now you know what you need to do, but you're not doing it. So you're going to continue to be trapped. It's going to be by your own volition that you're trapped, and things are not going to be moving forward the way that you want them to. And so let's do one more card. We have the Ten of Swords. So there may be some anxiety. There may be some worry. It's for nothing. You have everything that you need at your disposal to be able to create success and have what you want in your life, or figure it out if you don't have it. And there will be help there helping you figure it out. This is a time where you're not supposed to be overthinking stuff. You're not supposed to be, and I don't mean like overthinking because I just said contemplation and that could be a little bit confusing, but I mean like creating drama from the things that you're thinking about. For instance, we could get all worked up about something that changes our vibration, that changes our energetic alignment with the things that we do want to be in alignment with, which then pulls us further away from our truth and from the direction that we want to go. This is a time for you to be thinking. This is a time for you to be trying out new ideas and starting to shift in a different way, but this is not a time to do it with drama. It's like you should be doing this with non-attachment. The less importance that you put on the things that you want, the less, I don't know how to explain this. Some of you that are into manifestation may know what I'm talking about, but it's almost like a non-attachment. You really want something to happen, but you know that you would be okay if it didn't. And when you get to that point and you kind of release what's going on and not over dramatize things in your mind, is when you start to step closer to that plane of getting what you want. So that is our message. Like I said, I don't really know if I am into doing a weekly reading, but I wanted to leave you with something. And it's just because I have been feeling very low energy and wanting to turn in and very contemplative and really trying to work on myself. Mars is actually the ruler of my sun, moon, and rising. And so, like, just to have that energy going inward is kind of like all hitting me, and I don't really feel like I have much energy to put out into the world. So I'm just gonna take it as I can and not overpromise on things that I cannot deliver. So this is your reading on the retrograde seasons. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.